So, like I was sharing earlier outside, I'm Nigerian, of course, from that sort of name. It's very obvious, and from how I speak, I guess. Yes, of course.
And not in Nigeria, Yoruba.
I'm Yoruba, yes. I was sharing that I stopped. I did my first degree in Nigeria. So in 1990, I left Nigeria and I went to the UK to start a master's program at City University. I studied English, interestingly enough, and I went on to study a computer science degree as a second degree, which was quite interesting. My professors found it quite interesting in those days that you could study English
Literature.
and then do the sort of initial test to see whether you could qualify to do a science program, and then when you get admitted to the science program. And that was quite interesting to a lot of people as well back home in Nigeria. But then I got to learn something very quickly, that although I hated maths, if I could put it like that, growing up, it wasn't about maths or being very good at science or it. It's just about how analytical you are, which is quite interesting. It gave me a lot of confidence as a 21-year-old. So I started working in the UK. I worked in, first job was in a town called Reading, not too far from London. I started work as an analyst programmer for an oil firm, an oil services firm. And the career has taken me into strategy consulting, into corporate finance, into what we call private equity, which is basically investment and doing deals across the continent. So in doing that, while in the UK, in my consulting and advisory roles, I lived in various places. I lived in Sweden for about a year and a half. I lived in Stockholm and a village called Karlskrona, near Malmö. So I lived in Finland, in Helsinki, whole work. I did a brief stint in a beautiful town called Tallinn, Estonia.
Capital.
I remember one particular incident in Tallinn. I went out with my colleagues, and I saw a sign saying La Casa, and because work takes me to Nigeria a lot, and I know there's a La Casa in Lagos, so I was curious, so I went into it. Then I got in there, I saw Nigerian paintings in Tallinn, in the old town. Amazing. So I sat down. So my colleagues there said, "Oh, Ola, what's up?" I said, "No, it was a Friday evening. We just finished work. So let's spend some time here." So I asked for a glass of wine. So I asked the lady across said, "That painting, where is it from?" She said, "South Africa." I can see I can see Molu. I don't know if there's a bus. This bus is there in Nigeria. I said, "That's not a Nigerian painting. That's not a South African painting." And funny enough, this guy walks in. But he was a co-owner of La Casa in Lagos. Anyway, not to...
He walks into the Casa in Tallinn.
He actually started La Casa in Tallinn and then went to invest in Nigeria. Quite interesting. Then a month later, I was in Lagos and this guy started screaming, telling everyone, "You know where I saw that guy? Old town." Everybody's like, "What were you doing there?" Anyway, so, and then I started I lived in Germany for a while as well, which I really enjoyed. Doing a lot of work in the banking sector at Dresdner and Holland with ABN AMRO, a lot of investment banking work there. I started coming, then we came to South Africa. I used to do a lot of, I was representing Accenture in the Africa practice, basically spreading and investing and also building the practice across Africa. So my role was to build the communications, media and technology practice. That was what brought me to South Africa. So did that. And then I worked for PwC doing deals, again across Africa, bringing deals into PwC, doing due diligence, and then working with the private equity firms to make sure that we provide, get the funding for the deals across Africa. A lot of time in Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, Ethiopia, and all of those places. And I stopped doing that about a year or so ago. We started Rested, and that's what I do now. So that's my story.
Fabulous.
When are you retiring? If you're planning for...
No, I haven't.